What's going on, everybody? Josh Pocock here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at my AI coding thesis, the future of value creation in business. We're also going to look at Cursor and V0 tips, tricks, and best practices that you can start using today, as well as we're going to go over a demo build so you can actually see these theories in action. Without ado, let's dive right into it. All right, so what's covered in today's video? Well, in today's video, we're going to look at where we're currently at in the AI coding space, where we're headed, what does this mean for devs, founders, entrepreneurs, etc. And like I said, this is my thesis. This is opinionated, but I will back this up with different trends we're seeing in the market, as well as facts that we are going to be going over. All right, we're going to also look at Cursor, V0, Claude Sonnet best practices, because at the moment, as at the time of recording this video, this is the best stack in my opinion when it comes to AI coding. Now, this could potentially change a little bit depending on your current situation, what type of app you're building, but for the most part, this is the best stack. Okay, and Cursor, V0 front end, Next.js demo build. So that's what we'll be doing at the end. We'll be going over a build, doing it quickly within V0 and showing you exactly how fast you can spin these up with a front end build using these tools. Okay, now this whole training document will be available in the resource section below for absolutely free. All right, so if you want to reference this after this video, or maybe you want to continue on learning from this, or whatever the case may be, definitely check out that document. I 100% recommend taking a look at the document so you have it for future reference. Now, disclaimer for this video may be a bit longer, but there are timestamps. Okay, so you can see what's included here. You can see all the different timestamps, as well as I would recommend watching this on 1.5 to 2 times speed for certain parts where you can maybe passively listen, and for normal speed for the more technical parts. Okay, now start of the video, I'm going to kind of go over my thesis as well as some teaching when it comes to the best practices and tips and tricks for these AI tools, and then we're going to go into the application, okay, and actually building out a front end. AI coding and entrepreneurship in tech. So right now in the space, there's kind of two sides, kind of like the left and the right, or whatever you want to say, two polar opposites. One side is saying AI coding is useless and it's never going to replace devs and blah, 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 blah. And the other side is saying coding is useless, so you shouldn't learn coding. You know, we've even seen, very successful people, Jensen Huang, say, don't teach your kids coding, essentially. And where does the truth lie? Well, at the moment of recording this video, I would say the truth lies somewhere in the middle. The truth is both are useful, but you can't fully rely on either. All right, you can't fully rely and place all your bets on becoming the best coder and not doing anything with AI, and you can't do the the other side, which is just fully only relying on AI and not knowing any sort of having a little bit of understanding of coding and development. All right. Now, of course, over time, this may change, and I'm personally someone that is maybe more on the side that AI will eventually somewhat, it's going to start replacing more and more of the development process, but that's why your skills are going to you're going to have to broaden your skill set and broaden your understanding of just value creation and whatnot. So what I'm trying to say here is coding is no longer a moat, okay? And what I mean by this is coding skills alone are no longer a significant competitive advantage for startups and tech companies. Instead, the focus has shifted to other crucial parts and aspects of building successful products and businesses. These shifts present both challenges and opportunities for entrepreneurs and devs. While coding skills still remain valuable, a broader skill set and perspective may be necessary to truly stand out in the evolving tech landscape. Now, long-term AI will drastically affect every area, making all these areas easier. But for now, we're seeing a huge disruption in the coding space, right? Now, what's a moat? If you don't know what a moat is, in business, a moat is a sustainable competitive advantage that protects a company from competitors, much like a water-filled moat protects a castle. Warren Buffett popularized this term, emphasizing the importance of investing in business with enduring moats. Here's an example diagram of kind of what a moat is and how you can see different ways with value creation, superior quality product and services, low cost product and services, brand value, after sales services. This value creation discourages customers from switching to other brands or products. We see attackers here, such as competitors. We see the company right here, the castle, and the economic moat protection. So customer preference, market restrictions, etc. Right? So that's what a moat is. Now, the moat of coding, historically, the ability to write complex code, efficient code was a great moat. You know, the FANG companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon leveraged their engineering prowess to build intricate systems that were difficult to replicate. The coding moat manifested in various ways, such as scalability, algorithmic advantage, speed, and efficiency. So I'm not gonna, like I said, guys, I'm trying to speed run through this. So if you want to really take a deeper look at this document, check it down below. But I just want to go over the main points here. So I'm not going to read every single thing, but yeah. So these technical advantages allowed tech giants to dominate their markets, often leaving competitors in the dust. But as AI-powered coding assistants and low-code platforms increase, the moat is slowly or kind of fastly evaporating, okay? We're at the point where a few founders or one founder even, or whatever the case may be, can compete with large-scale teams, and we're getting to that point where it's going to be easier and easier in terms of building, deploying, testing, prototyping, etc. Now, new moats are creativity, empathy, and vision. So as coding becomes accessible to all or more, the new moats will be built on human qualities: creativity and problem solving, and product conceptualization, empathy and understanding and addressing user needs, building solutions that solve problems, and vision in anticipating market trends and societal shifts. So this is like also standard things that have been going around for a while, but you know, there's going to be a lot more emphasis around these things, and not just being able to code and understand different coding languages and whatnot. Now, these moats aren't as easily replicatable. So enter the Stride framework. Now, the Stride framework is broken down into 6 main parts, and if you follow this framework and adopt this framework and mindset, you will be able to accelerate your stride in the next few years as AI coding, AI business growth, and development continues to accelerate, okay? All right, guys, now one thing to keep in mind, this will definitely evolve, this thesis, over time, but here is the current Stride framework. So S, synergy, aligning all business functions for maximum efficiency. Synergy in business refers to interaction or cooperation of 2 or more components to produce a combined effect greater than the sum of their separate effects. It's about creating value through integration and coordination of various business elements, processes, and departments. A few key aspects would be organizational alignment, operational efficiency, unified customer experience, etc. So example, Apple's ecosystem approach: the hardware, the software, the service work seamlessly together, creating a user experience that's greater than the sum of its parts. Okay, T is transformation, so embracing the driving change in the industry. All right, so if entrepreneurs were surfers, some wait for waves, react to change, others predict waves, anticipate change, but the most successful ones learn to create the waves and drive change. So transformation is about becoming a wave maker in your industry. So an example would be Netflix's evolution from DVD rentals to streaming to content creation. They didn't just adapt to changes in how people consume media. They actively shaped the future of entertainment, transforming themselves and the entire industry in the process. Now think about this versus Blockbuster, and we can see where the two are now. Now, R is for relevance, so staying attuned to evolving user needs and market trends. Think of relevance as a company's social intelligence. Just as people need to read the room to maintain relationships, businesses must constantly read the market to stay connected with their customers. I is for innovation, pioneering new solutions and business models. So innovation, like exploring uncharted territories. It's not just about creating new products, it's about discovering entirely new lands of opportunity. So an example would be SpaceX's reusable rockets. Completely new, completely innovative. No one else really knew that you could do stuff like this. And, you know, Elon, took initiative and innovated, right? So D is for data-driven decision-making. So leveraging insights from strategic choices. This one's important. Data in business is like a high-powered telescope. It allows you to see the future further and more clearly than your competitors, spotting opportunities and dangers others miss. Now, example would be Amazon.com. By leveraging vast amounts of user data, Amazon can predict what customers want before they even know they want it, driving sales and customer satisfaction. Now, E is for engagement, cultivating deep, lasting user relationships. Now, think of engagement as the art of turning customers into fans. It's about creating such a strong connection with your users that they become your best advocates. And in brackets here, I put founder mode, baby, just because that's trending. If you don't know about founder mode, everyone's talking about it. It's basically this blog post. I'm not going to go over it right now. Maybe we'll talk about it more in another video. But I would also recommend, on a side note, checking out the All In podcast talk on founder mode. I mean, I kind of agree with a lot of what they said around this topic. Anyways, so a few key trends to that we're seeing in the market. So the experience economy. So businesses are increasingly focused on creating memorable experiences rather than just selling products or services. For instance, Starbucks doesn't just sell coffee, it sells a third place between home and work. Ecosystem thinking. So companies are moving beyond traditional industry boundaries. For example, car manufacturers are now competing in a broader mobility space, and companies seeing ride sharing, electric vehicles, and autonomous driving. And then data democratization. Companies like Airbnb are making data accessible to employees, not just analysts, fostering a culture of data-driven decision-making at all levels. There's a blog post there about that. Now, the reason you may be wondering, like, okay, why are you sharing this with me, Josh? Well, the reason, if you don't already understand now, the reason being is because as this moat evaporates of coding, you're going to need to start thinking about you're gonna need to start thinking differently about how you build your products, because as we're gonna see, especially as more AI models and more AI advancements come, people that have been building products maybe for the last year, some of their products or some of their services or some of their businesses will completely get outcompeted instantly overnight by for one, by like OpenAI and this and that. So how can you build products that are actually going to last longer and not just be completely gone overnight, right? As if, a new advancement comes about. Now, you can't 100% protect yourself from this, but this is just a framework and kind of a mindset I want you guys to adapt and to fight this the best way possible. All right. Now, if you have any ideas about this or any ideas to innovate upon this, or what your own ideas around this topic are, definitely let me know in the comments down below, guys. Let's spark up some discussion and maybe we can help each other out, as well as we can all learn together and make sure we're all prepared. Now that we're done that, I'm going to get into Cursor and V0 tips and tricks. This is also for Claude too, but these are a few of the key things that I have found. I guess it's the top 7 tips when using Cursor V0, and I've been using it every single day for the last few weeks, whatever the case may be, all right? And I've been using AI tools such as Claude and OpenAI probably every single day for the last year, at least, actually longer. And first and foremost is context is king, okay? So before requesting code or UI designs, give a clear overview of your project's goals, architecture, and constraints. The more detailed, the better. Explain the specific problem you're trying to solve and its place within the larger system, all right? So context is king right now. Certain models, have different, context windows and whatever the case may be. And sometimes your code base may be a lot big. Most of the time your code base is going to be a lot bigger if you're building an actual project than the context window. So you can't just feed it the whole code, and it can't perfectly understand everything and all the front end and back end systems. So if you can try to give it into bite-sized pieces where it can understand the larger system in a smaller context window, then that's the best strategy that I found. Okay, and I'll be doing more videos showing you actual applicable situations of doing this in the future. Now, 2 is build incrementally. So start with foundational elements and gradually add complexity. This allows AI tools to build a more accurate understanding of your project over time. 3, maintain consistent naming and styling. So consistency in your project. So use consistent naming conventions and coding styles throughout your project. This helps AI tools provide more contextually relevant suggestions and generate more coherent code. And then 4, leverage V0 for UI prototyping. This is standard, like I've said before, but generate UI components quickly with natural language prompts, and then iterate or design by refining prompts and customize in Claude. So prototype in V0 very quickly, and then, customize in Claude and Cursor. And then use generated code as a foundation for customization. And also too, you can leverage images and all that good stuff. And then 5, utilize Claude Sonnet 3.5 for code generation. So generate code snippets from high-level descriptions, optimize algorithms and existing code, and then obtain explanations for complex code sections. So you can use Claude Sonnet and Cursor. I like to use them both, even though I love using Cursor and it's technically the same as Claude Sonnet. You're using it through the API. I like to use Claude Sonnet, the Claude model as well. Also too, I'll kind of like, depending on what the task is, like, because using it through Cursor, you are technically paying for the API. So if it's something that it's a simple question that can be used with Claude, I may use it with Claude. Okay. And then 6, implement strategic tool combination. So like I said, v0 for the initial UI structure, and then refine the code in Claude, and then Cursor plus Claude 3.5 for complex logic and backend functionality. And I'll do more videos on backend functionality, in the future, because I know that's like a big thing a lot of people are maybe struggling with. Like, okay, we can get the UI created. Everyone's kind of creating UI now, but how do we connect it to a backend database, Postgres, Supabase, whatever the case may be? And, yeah, we'll do more videos on that in the future. So 7, optimize prompting techniques. So provide clear project context and requirements. Like I said, be very specific, break complex text into manageable chunks. So before I won't like to say, hey, build me this app that's like this, and then it like builds like some fragmented code, small chunks. I'll like to ask the AI to give me like a project plan of everything I need to do, whether that's generate the UI, connect it to the backend, etc., etc. And then once it gives me a plan, like maybe a 10-step plan, then I'll break that down into smaller prompts. Like I'll use the first step and give that to the AI and say, help me with generating this code, and then etc. Then step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. All right. So you can actually break that down into smaller chunks, and then include design preferences and layout details, screenshots, descriptions, etc. And then iterate on prompts to refine results, and then continuously be learning every single day. There's like new updates, new strategies, new techniques, new tools. There's every day I'm learning new things, even though like I'm trying to stay on the cutting edge. So yeah, always kind of adopt that mindset, stay up to date with the latest AI tools, features, experiment with new tools and techniques and prompts, and then still learn the basics of coding and frameworks. All right, don't just fully rely on AI as a crutch. Still learn the basics of JavaScript, HTML, CSS, whatever frameworks you're using, Next.js, React, whatever the case may be. And then connect with others in our Stride community to share and gain insights. And then of course, subscribe to stay up to date, because I'll be providing you guys some insights. And then other useful AI tools, Aider, Continue Dev, Claude. I've done videos on those as well, so you can check them out on the channel, as well as I've left links here in the document as well. And then I left a link here for our Stride community. It's free to join our Discord channel and then Facebook group. Okay, so definitely check out this document. And if you got value from this already, then definitely hit the subscribe button. It's free. Like the video, and I'll also comment on what you guys think about this and all that good stuff. Now we're going to build out. You're going to kind of see some of this in action. Okay. Now, just to make this video not too long, I'm just going to build out something somewhat basic. And I'm going to show you kind of how I do it. Right. So all I really did right here is I'm in v0, and, here's a screenshot of ChatGPT, and I could say, to v0, hey, build out a sidebar, make it black, have a little icon here, have this text here, have this. I just took a screenshot and I said, make this, and then it kind of messed up here, and I said, no, the image. So then it basically just said, okay, I'm going to make the image, and boom, we got this right here. We even got the ChatGPT logo. We got pretty much everything. I could say, hey, add the profile setting thing up here. I could add a bit more stuff. It's typable here. We can, whatever. So you could add more functionality, but honestly, I just like to get the prototype, like I said, done in v0, because v0 is really good at generating stuff that looks good, as well as it's utilizing ShadCN UI, which is like my go-to library. Now, what you can do from here is you could, like I said in the tips, you could take this and you could put this into Claude, and like basically I would just tell it to change things. We're gonna go ahead and actually just install this. So you can actually add it to Codebase right here. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go over to Cursor right here, and this is Cursor. And let's go ahead and go to terminal, new terminal, and we're just going to paste this in. This is a new folder. Okay, so npx chatcn at latest, and then add, and it's adding that link right here. So this is actually going to install a Next.js project for us. I'm just going to take a sip of Red Bull as this initializes the Next.js project. It's currently 3 a.m. and it's been a long day, but got to get this value out to you guys. So hope you're enjoying it. If you want me to make a video on any specific topic, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what your thoughts are on this video. All right, so then I'm going to npm run dev. All right, and boom, here we go. It's hosted right now on localhost 3002, just because I have some other projects open right now too. But as you can see, I didn't even have to change the page.tsx file, because once you do that v0 install, it literally already imports it right here. So we're importing the AI interface. Now what you could do, just so you know, you would probably want to, like, if you were actually going to use this, you'd probably want to break this up into smaller components. So you probably want to have this as a sidebar. Probably want to have maybe like the chat right here as a component, and stuff like that. So you could actually just go over into, now everything I'm going to show you here could be done in Cursor or it could be done in Claude. It's really your preference. Okay, now for Cursor, I will say the Cursor interface is absolutely amazing. I love it. So if you're on the fence of whether you should pay 20 bucks a month for Cursor, I mean, I really think it's a no-brainer if you're actually someone that's using this on the day-to-day. If you're using it on the day-to-day, then definitely spend 20 bucks. All right, so I referenced the page. I referenced the components and the page here, and I said break this down into, as you can see here, break this down into specific components, please, and then import them into my page. So as you can see, it's creating the sidebar.tsx, the chat suggestion.tsx, and the chat input, and then it should be adding them into our page. We can see the history here and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and accept this, and let's see if it actually works. Okay, as you see here, it's creating these components. So we got the chat input, the chat suggestions, the sidebar. All right, so as you can see here, what it actually did was it just made these separate components: sidebar, chat suggestions, chat input, and it actually just imported them into that original AI interface component we had, and then we're still just importing that AI interface into the page. You, of course, could do it either way. You could import those components separately directly into the page, or you could just put it in one component. Either way, what I would personally do, though, is I would obviously optimize this. Let's just show you what it looks like. Full screen here. Okay, I would personally go into either Claude Sonnet or Cursor, and I would just be giving it this code, and I would say, hey, add the little header thing here, or make this drop down actually clickable, make this chat pop up and open. Literally just the incremental changes. All right, I don't want to go through all those little things right now just to make this video too long here, but I just want to show you how quickly it is to spin up a front end. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below in terms of the original thesis we went over, as well as the tips, tricks. Also too, guys, I forgot to mention here, but I did mention this in another video. I'm going to leave this as well in the description down below, guys. If you're using Cursor with v0, here's a little tip right here. You can actually go ahead and reference this. So if I go into the composer here, I can actually reference this v0 markdown file. I could just say, create me a component that is an email pop-up form, and it is sleek and professional, and I could go ahead and click enter, and this is all within Cursor. And it's going to say, hey, we're going to create you this thing. And if you click this link directly, it's going to open up into v0 with that exact prompt. It's going to generate a prompt for you for v0. So Cursor is going to generate you a professional prompt. And you could obviously change this markdown file, maybe add some prompt engineering techniques that you want it to follow. As you can see here, it's basically given this prompt to v0. And now you can see that v0 is generating that email pop-up template. All right, so that's another thing, guys, another little tip within Cursor. As you can see, we got this v0 markdown file, but also use other markdown files. You can create like a folder, maybe called prompts or whatever the case is, and you can include things like stack documentation. You can SOPs, put it in markdown format, and then you can reference this in the composer as you're building out your app. All right, guys, so that's another little tip. As you can see, we got the code here for the email pop-up form. And guys, like I mentioned, I will be doing more intricate build outs. I just wanted to show you how quickly you can get something that's minimal viable, very, very basic prototypes. Of course, you're going to have to iterate upon this, build everything out, structure it, but this is completely changing the game, this type of technology, guys. So other than that, if you want to stay up to date with the daily uploads, we upload videos every single day on AI, automation, business growth, AI coding, open source tools, frameworks, tactics, strategies that I'm learning every single day. So if you want to stay up to date with the value, make sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below about all this, guys. Maybe you have some additional techniques or strategies that you found with these AI tools that you want to share with myself as well as the other Stride community members. So definitely check that out. And also too, guys, check out our free community, stridecommunity.com, free Facebook group, free Discord channel, link in the description down below. As well as, guys, don't forget to check out that document that goes over this whole training that we went over, the best tips, tactics, strategies, and all that good stuff. So other than that, I will see you in tomorrow's video, guys. Keep hustling, keep grinding, and of course, guys, accelerate your stride. Take care.